Yeah, what? Did somebody really say that? No way. It was on Perfect World who run their Dota client. No, you can't pass the buck like that, dog. Yeah, Picky Pie is right. You can't. You like, if you were assigned a job from like a manager or something, or if you were like a project manager or something, and you had to oversee something, and then shit got fucked up, and then you had to talk to your boss, and you're like, "Yo, dog, I hired those people. Like, they fucked up, not me." Like that. You know, it doesn't work that way. You would say, then why the fuck did you hire them? That's like literally, that's like the Whiplash meme when Neiman, or when the one piano guy loses his music, and he was like, dude, I gave it to him to hold on to. And the guy's like, why the fuck would you give it to him to hold on to? It's your responsibility, right? It would be like that, literally. Like, they hired the second largest company in China that deals with the shit behind Tencent, which runs League. I mean, just because you're hiring a big company doesn't necessarily mean the quality is going to be there. Apparently, they didn't even have time. They didn't even do a rehearsal run. Like, how can you ever expect things to run well? Like, when you're doing like music-oriented shit or like live video-related shit, like rehearsal is literally the most important thing you will ever fucking do. It is the if you're not doing a rehearsal, then you shouldn't even fucking do the event. Like, holy shit! Just to make sure everything is all lined up, that you can switch channels nice and easy, that all the audio and video is synced exactly as it's supposed to, that all the transitions are as smooth as you want them to be, that all the equipment is working and perfectly fine, that everybody who's working is ready for, you know, all the transitions and everything. Like, I get that, but they trusted Perfect World to find a production company for them, which falls under Chinese laws regulating that you can't have outside companies doing anything inside China. Their hands are pretty tied. Okay, if that's the case, though, then you have to be ready to accept the responsibility of any and all fallout, and then you have to do a risk assessment at that point. Like, okay, well, we can't do fuck all here to ensure that there's going to be any kind of quality for our event, so are we going to risk this and potentially have our reputation get a little bit fucked up and look really bad? Well, yeah, sure, then you do that risk assessment. But if shit goes wrong, you can't just be like, well, we did our best, like, we can't. Well, no, then you just don't hold the event. If you really can't ensure quality like that dramatically, I mean, I'm not a multi-billion-dollar company, but I would never do that. If you were to tell me those same set of restrictions, like, okay, well, you can host your event here, but you have no guarantee that anything will run well at all, and this whole thing could, you know, look really bad, and you like, then I'm like, well, fuck, that really sucks. I guess I just won't run the event there. I mean, that sounds harsh, I guess, and I don't know how that would affect like the Chinese scene.
Somewhere really nearby, like, I don't know.
Yeah, like Taiwan. No, I'm just kidding. But Destiny, wow, nice hindsight, bro. No, not hindsight, dog. It's just welcome to the big grown-up world where you have to accept responsibility for what you do, dog. I'm sorry if that's like a really fucking foreign concept. Has always happened in Dota too. Like, yeah.
Not even just Dota, just esports.
In general.
And anybody who has to hold events as a foreigner.
Yeah, but like, and even this same company had huge troubles running another event. Like, what the fuck do you expect to happen? Like, you can't micromanage everything as Valve. Correction, you can't micromanage anything as Valve because you only have fucking 340 employees, and it's painfully obvious sometimes when it comes to the things like their fucking horrible customer support and whatnot, like, and their horrible fucking communication with the community sometimes. It's very painfully obvious that Valve is lacking some employees in some key fucking areas. But don't say you can't micromanage everything when like a huge fucking event that you're throwing, what, $3 million of prize money at plus however much for production, like gets this fucked up. You think that you could just, well, you can't control everything. Yeah. Like, can't control everything? That's some shit you say when you have a delay, like, of 20 minutes one day. That's some shit you say when somebody DCs in a game. That's not what you say when every single fucking aspect of your shit is getting fucked. Like, you can't control everything, I guess. And it also, it doesn't matter if they accept the responsibility, guys. Like, I guess, like, I guess maybe I view this a little differently. Okay, so from a supervisor perspective at the casino, everybody, obviously different jobs can be different, and my job was very small compared to some larger jobs, but like even it was the same at McDonald's. When you are the supervisor on a shift, you're responsible for everything that your employees do, fucking period. Unless the only exception to that are if your employees are going like above and beyond to be fucking crazy. Like if your employee like fucking murders someone, okay, then maybe not. But like if somebody comes into your, if like a VP or somebody would have come into your restaurant, your manager would have come into your restaurant and shit is fucked up, and they come to you you, right? Because the manager will always come to you. They don't talk to the employees. They'll talk to the supervisor. Like, yo, what the fuck is going on? And you're like, dude, I don't know why those tables are dirty. I told him to clean that table. Like, it doesn't fly. Your manager would laugh at you and say, okay, well, it's your fucking responsibility. Like, can you not do the job? Because I'll find somebody that can. Like, your responsibility are those employees. Like, period. You can't pass the buck like that. And I would imagine that for a company like Valve, where the international and the majors and these things are representative of your brand, which they are, you don't get to, when that brand is damaged because of horribly fucked up production shit, you can't pass the buck. You just can't. It's your responsibility to make sure that you are hiring a company that is capable of doing the job that is representative of your brand. Like, that's it. That's all there is to it. You can't pass the buck there. It just doesn't work that way, and it'll never work that way. And anything outside of fucking high school or college, like, it doesn't work that way.
You can say, well, it's different in China, but there's plenty of events that have occurred in China that haven't gotten this level of publicity to the point of being on the front page of Reddit for how fucked they are. So, what if the Chinese government secretly gave Valve all the money for this entire event and is actually funding it just to make sure the event is in China?
Whoa.
And Valve didn't actually want it to be in China, but they did it since it was completely paid for.
You gotta understand, China's an entirely different world from working in anywhere else in the world, but you have to do everything in country. Yeah, but I know, but what I'm saying is, like, you're risking damage to your brand. Like, if China is really as risky as what you're saying, then the intelligent move there is to white label everything, to say, fuck it, like, I'm not gonna host this as representative of Valve, like, I'm gonna create, like, a separate company or use a separate company to do everything, and I'm not gonna be associated with it. And then the risk is okay, because if another company tanks or whatever, then that's fucking fine, then that's whatever, right? Let's say that I was a multi-billion-dollar company and I wanted to host Destiny tournaments all over the world, and then I went to China and I was like, okay, holy fuck, China is super fucked. I don't know if I hosted an event in China, like, it might be really fucking bad and it'll reflect badly on me. So how about instead I go to an entirely different company to host their own event, and I'll go like, you know what, you guys can go ahead and host your own event there. And then if it gets fucked up, then it'll reflect badly on that company, and it'll be a totally different thing. Like they whatever, right? Because I don't want to assume that risk. Valve is the one that sponsors and is directly responsible for hiring out talent for the majors. If you are going to be directly responsible for hiring out those production companies, then you're assuming all of the risks and liabilities that go along with it. Like, that's just how it works. Like,
do you think somebody's getting killed for the fuck up? No, because a huge part of some of the fucks up is, it sounds like, is to benefit the Chinese team so they can get all the money.
is that actually true? I don't follow that closely.
There's soundproofing, but the only people you can hear are Chinese casters. So nobody's gonna do anything about it because it benefits the Chinese teams.
Nice. Wouldn't it reflect poorly on Destiny for choosing a shitty company to host the event? No, because they would be the company.
He's not. He's thinking that you're still doing a.
But there's
contract.
but there's a difference. I'm not contracting another person to host my event. Do you understand the difference? It might sound like I'm splitting hairs, but I'm not, right? When you talk about, like, the Shanghai Major, this is Valve's event. Valve is directly hiring. Valve is not hiring, like, a separate organization that is going to try to get talent and a production company. Valve themselves are hiring the production company. There's a difference there. Do you see? Is it really that hard to understand the difference? Like, if Valve would have instead...
Well, what's the StarCraft equivalent, or what was it? Like, MLG running?
Yeah, sure. Like, if MLG was going to run a tournament, and Valve was like, okay, well, MLG is going to go ahead and run the major there, whatever, like, that would be different. And then if there was a huge fuck up there, then Valve...
MLG's fault.
Yeah, then Valve could go, MLG fucked up hard. And Valve would be totally in the right there. And it would look a little bit bad on Valve, but they could totally, that blame could 100% go to MLG. Like, okay, MLG, you fucked up. You were hiring production, you were hiring talent, you fucking horribly mismanaged that event. Fuck you guys. And everybody would rightfully, say like, oh, fuck MLG. Like, okay, well, it sucks for Valve. Like, they're gonna have to find a new partner to work with. But when Valve is the one directly hiring out the talent and the production for the company, then the blame has to be shifted to the people that do the initial hiring, right? For those kinds of companies, right? Like,
Isn't Riot, like, way bigger than Valve in terms of number of people?
Yes, Riot is a multi-thousand employee company. Riot has thousands of employees.
So Riot's way of doing it is impossible for Valve to do because
At this point in time,
yeah, because the way Valve is set up is they're all just engineers, whereas Riot has PR people, Riot has internationalization people.
Destiny, this is your product. It would reflect terribly for you no matter who is hosting it. Nope, that's not true. If MLG was fucked up, nope, and I can point to specific examples of this. If MLG is super fucked up, or NASL is super fucked up, or other things like that are super fucked up, nobody points at Blizzard and goes, Blizzard, you guys fucking suck. What are you doing? No, there was a ton of hate that went towards MLG or NASL or those specific companies. When people talk about how bad NASL Season 1 was, nobody says like, oh God, Blizzard fucked up NASL Season 1 so hard. Like, no, that blame fell onto NASL or MLG when they fucked up. Remember when MLG had all the horrible problems the last time that they ran StarCraft? Nobody pointed a finger. Now, if Blizzard fucks up BlizzCon, like when they did, when they had horrible fucking maps, and in different, the one BlizzCon that I went to where they had maps with like close spawn and shit, when that happened, people pointed the finger and blamed BlizzCon, or Blizzard, rightfully so. But nobody pointed the finger and blamed Blizzard when either IPL, NASL, or MLG were fucking events up. So no, I don't think that I'm just like totally making this up. Like, it isn't about Blizzard, it's about the brand of StarCraft 2. Yeah, but the entire brand of your game can't be destroyed by one company fucking up. It would reflect worse on the company than it would reflect on your particular game there, since the game's not really at fault. Now, I guess if it continued to happen and everybody hosted fucking StarCraft events, and maybe you can make that argument eventually, but... Destiny, you're mostly right, but there are examples too where someone lagged out at a big finals and everyone was like, fuck Blizzard, where's land? Yeah, I agree with that. And those are bad things, but those rightfully so should have been reflected onto Blizzard. But those were Blizzard-specific problems, right? Sure, I agree with that. Yeah, that's fair. Did you see the game where there were random monsters and helicopter noises? What? No
way.
Global Silence is online here, so Alliance feeling more confident to move forward. See the shards coming through. There's the Phoenix egg. Ake being forced back. They drop the OD ult. It's going to get them one kill. EGM burning down in the flames. He too will fall.
Is it a Dota sound?
Supports out of the picture. And Liquid still hanging on to their Ravage as they march forward down the middle lane. Pop 20 seconds away.
What is going
Sven
on?
still farming up bottom. Lone Jura top, so they don't lose any cores.
Points in stun. Build, and it's, I
Oh,
think
the
because
mics
you're,
aren't working or
I mean, it's
something?
Alliance. You've got Bulldog in the offlane who takes out there and realizes that Bulldog's not bad stuff.
What the fuck?
There's not a huge amount of farm to go around the map. I'm not going to have my ancient stacks. If
It's a Dota bug sound when Roshan is killed.
Liquid's going to come at us when they've got these ultimates. We want to be able to get the most out of our
No
global
way.
silence, so getting 4 points in the stun just gives Alliance that little bit of extra firepower.
Where are the monster noises coming from? Is that Roshan?
Get out of vision, so Loda can't follow it up with the stun. Ake did go for his phase boots there on the Enchantress, so it looks like you are.
Five seconds remaining.
You know, if this was like, like a $100 tournament at like a university or something. It's Satan. Oh my god.
Holy shit.